Welcome back Liverpool fans. Liverpool are cooking something huge. A £26.4 million giant defender, an untouchable midfielder, and a blockbuster deal that could change everything at Anfield. This January window might be massive. Our first news is sensational Liverpool transfer takes massive step forward. A sensational Liverpool transfer appears to have taken a massive step forward. Can Richard Hughes really get it done? Liverpool will re-enter the transfer market in 2026. There's no way around that. Even after spending a record-breaking amount in the summer, the Reds twice broke their transfer record to improve their squad, while they also bought the most expensive fullbacks in their history. It was an enormous outlay, but it didn't signal the end of their spending. And we know that for a fact. Liverpool tried to sign Marc Guéhi, after all, only for Crystal Palace to collapse the deal right at the last moment. So the Reds need a centre-back. They want to improve on their current options, and if that wasn't already the case, Giovanni Leone's injury forces them into something. Let alone Ibrahima Konate coming towards the end of his contract with the club. There's even more at play here, though, as Liverpool also start to look at life post-Virgil van Dijk. Ideally, a new signing would also be in the elite bracket, capable of leading the Reds' defense after the captain. Nico Schlotterbeck to Liverpool? Liverpool have been linked with Nico Schlotterbeck as the German defender heads towards the final year of his contract with Borussia Dortmund. Schlotterbeck is one of the highest-rated centre-backs in Europe right now. There have even been suggestions that Liverpool could try and get something done in January as they react to missing out on Guéhi and losing Leone to injury. It would be a sensational transfer, one that not only costs a fortune but gives them the long-term piece they can build the defense around. So with that in mind, things have taken a big step in the right direction. Bild report that Schlotterbeck is now unlikely to renew his contract at Dortmund, something that once looked like a near formality. Instead, a transfer now looks very, very possible, and Dortmund will likely feel forced into it next year if Schlotterbeck won't renew. They will also be far more likely to discuss a deal in January, before the defender enters his final season next summer. This is brilliant news for Liverpool, then, if Schlotterbeck truly is the one for them. The elite defender on the market that the Reds desperately need to find. Liverpool are making major January transfer moves. A £26.4 million giant defender is now on their radar, a blockbuster midfield raid is taking shape, and Real Madrid are circling Ibrahima Konate as the Reds prepare for massive squad changes under Arne Slot. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, contract updates, and insider reactions from Anfield. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool FC updates and breaking football news. Our second news is report. Liverpool make first move to sign giant £26.4 million defender. Liverpool scouting giant defender ahead of potential January move. Liverpool appear to be widening their January defensive search, and attention has now turned to Galatasaray's Wilfried Singo, a player whose giant profile blends athleticism, versatility, and a notable aerial presence. With Arne Slot navigating a season complicated by early defensive injuries, the recruitment team is exploring options that can offer flexibility across the back line. Rising interest in Singo. Reports from Turkey indicate that Liverpool scouts were present for Galatasaray's 3-0 win over Ajax in the Champions League. That match proved costly for the Dutch side, who dismissed Johnny Heitinga soon after, and valuable for Singo, whose performance earned firm admiration from the watching contingent. The same scouts are expected to travel again to monitor him in upcoming European fixtures against Union Saint-Gilloise and AS Monaco. Galatasaray acquired Singo from Monaco for around €30 million, approximately £26.4 million, and structured his deal with a release clause set at roughly double that figure. With Manchester United and Arsenal also monitoring him, interest is likely to escalate as the January window approaches. Singo's qualities in detail. Liverpool supporters already had a close look at the Ivory Coast international earlier this season when Galatasaray claimed victory against the Reds. In that contest he won 8 duels, 3 tackles, 4 clearances and 2 interceptions as recorded by SofaScore. His contributions in the 3-0 win over Ajax further underlined his upward trajectory, with 7 duels won, a perfect dribble completion rate, a 92% pass accuracy, 3 tackles and 3 interceptions. Crucially, his skill set mirrors aspects of Joe Gomez's development. Singo can operate at right back or center back without disrupting a team structure, and his comfort in both roles increases his appeal to a side that values positional flexibility. FBref data highlights how competitive he has become compared with other center backs across Europe's major leagues. Over the past year, he has been among the top 1% of full backs in interceptions at 1.92 per match, clearances at 5.61 and aerial duels won at 2.3. His earlier years with Torino showcased his pace, strength, and dribbling according to the cult of Calcio, attributes that now complement a more refined defensive instinct. Market dynamics and Liverpool's needs. The fee required to prize him away from Istanbul will not be modest. Galatasaray are aware of his rising valuation, and interest from several major clubs will only intensify if his Champions League form continues. Liverpool have already experienced frustration after injury setbacks to Jeremy Frimpong and Giovanni Leone, as well as the collapse of the late move for Mark Guéhi. Strengthening the defensive department is now a priority. Given the volume of fixtures and the reliance on a fluid back line under Slot, a January addition appears logical. Singo's ability to influence matches physically and technically, along with his positional range, places him firmly on Liverpool's radar. With European performances attracting growing attention, this is a recruitment battle that could gather significant pace. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, contract updates, and insider reactions from Anfield. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool FC updates and breaking football news. Our third news is Blockbuster Liverpool deal on verge of agreement. Liverpool are reportedly on the verge of agreeing a blockbuster deal. The Reds are feeling confident. Liverpool are very much still in the rebuilding phase, despite the massive outlay in the summer. The Reds spent an enormous amount, breaking records to switch up a title-winning squad. Over £450 million went out on players, while over £200 million came in. It was a summer unlike any we've ever seen on Merseyside, but it's not all over just yet. For one, Liverpool did not spend big in 2 areas, centre-back and midfield. Those are now the next areas on the agenda, though centre-back was supposed to be semi-resolved. Mark Guéhi should have arrived from Crystal Palace, but the Eagles collapsed the deal right at the last minute. It leaves the long-term plan unclear in defence, especially with Ibrahima Konate's contract on the brink of expiry. Liverpool confident on Ibrahima Konate. L'Equipe reports that Liverpool are confident of re-signing Ibrahima Konate. The Frenchman's contract expires at the end of the season, and he's been heavily linked with a move away. Real Madrid are reportedly at the front of the queue. They're seeking another free transfer to boost their defense, and Konate is arguably the best option on the market. He's not the only one, however. Compatriot, and former teammate at RB Leipzig, Dayot Upamecano is also out of contract and linked with Real Madrid. That one is now looking more and more likely, with reports elsewhere claiming Upamecano is now topping the shortlist in Madrid. Perhaps that's why Liverpool's confidence over Konate is growing. But it would be a massive boost for the Reds to keep Konate. They want to sign a centre-back regardless of what happens there, as shown with Guéhi, and so losing a first 11 option would force them into the market for 2. That's far from ideal. Not only is finding 2 top centre-backs incredibly difficult, but that's also more upheaval than they'd like. Especially with all the upheaval from last summer seemingly impacting the team. Liverpool are making major January transfer moves. A £26.4 million giant defender is now on their radar, a blockbuster midfield raid is taking shape, and Real Madrid are circling Ibrahima Konate as the Reds prepare for massive squad changes under Arne Slot. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, contract updates, and insider reactions from Anfield. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool FC updates and breaking football news. Our fourth news is Liverpool have reportedly launched an ambitious January transfer window raid on French giants PSG for an elite midfielder who walks straight into Arne Slot's starting 11, although Team Talk questions whether they can actually succeed in their chase. Having appeared to get their faltering campaign back on track with wins over Aston Villa and Real Madrid, Slot's men came crashing back down to earth as they were crushed 3-0 by Manchester City at the weekend. The result leaves Liverpool a whopping 8 points behind leaders Arsenal in the defence of their Premier League title and seemingly needing a jolt in the arm come January. That could come in the form of outstanding PSG star Vitinha, if the latest reports on the Portugal international are to be believed. As per Caught Offside, the Reds have identified the 25-year-old as a possible target for the January transfer window. Slot's midfield has been identified as an area that needs a significant upgrade, leading to Vitinha emerging on the club's radar, however unlikely a swoop might seem. The defensive midfielder joined PSG from Portuguese side Porto back in 2022 and has gone on to make over 160 appearances for the club across all competitions. However, it's the last 18 months where Vitinha has really exploded onto the scene and established himself as one of the top midfielders in the world. Indeed, during that time, PSG won the Champions League, Ligue 1 and the French Cup under Luis Enrique. And it now appears that Liverpool are ready to try their luck in a daring January raid, with scouts at the club regarding Vitinha as one of the most technically gifted players in Europe. Vitinha, who came third in the Ballon d'Or voting, is currently valued at around €90 million, £79 million/ $104 million. And remains under contract until the end of the 2028/29 campaign. It's also been claimed that PSG regard him as untouchable and have no intention of allowing a sale, particularly mid-season. That being said, PSG are in a position where they need to sell to reduce the wage bill and also comply with financial fair play regulations. High-wage players who are not central to the new project under Enrique will be offloaded to fund deals for fresh additions, although it's not thought that Vitinha is one of them. To that end, it appears that Liverpool could be running up a blind alley if, as the report suggests, they do make a concrete move for the PSG superstar. Liverpool are making major January transfer moves. A £26.4 million giant defender is now on their radar. A blockbuster midfield raid is taking shape, and Real Madrid are circling Ibrahima Konate as the Reds prepare for massive squad changes under Arne Slot. Stay tuned for all the latest Liverpool transfer news, contract updates, and insider reactions from Anfield. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool FC updates and breaking football news. Our last news is Liverpool's stance on Ibrahima Konate contract talks as Real Madrid circles defender. Liverpool defender Ibrahima Konate is out of contract at the end of the season, but the Reds are still working on tying him to a new long-term deal at Anfield. Liverpool is reportedly confident of tying Ibrahima Konate to a new contract, despite apparent interest from Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. The French centre-back's current Anfield deal is due to expire at the end of the season, and he remains on the same terms he signed upon joining the Reds from RB Leipzig in 2021. Earlier this year it was suggested that Konate was asking for a pay rise from £80,000, $105,000, per week to £200,000, $263,000, per week, and there has not been much progress in talks in recent months. However, L'Equipe is now reporting that Liverpool is confident of keeping hold of the 26-year-old, who has been Arne Slot's preferred partner for Virgil van Dijk throughout the Dutchman's time at Anfield. Konate does not give many interviews, and has not spoken publicly about his future since May, when he talked about his goals with the club. "I know I have a lot of objectives with this club, to become a leader, to win everything," Konate told reporters after Liverpool won the league. "I am very happy here to be fair. This is another conversation with the club and my agent. We will see what will happen in the next few weeks, or I don't know when. But we will see, let me say that." Are the talks progressing? Not really, but my agent met the club last week, but I don't know what will happen. I cannot say what my agent said to me, but yeah, we will see what will happen. Konate is believed to have turned down several contract offers from the Reds as he has not been happy with the terms offered to him. A few days ago, Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher told the Daily Mail that the Reds would be fine if Konate were to leave. "I'd like him to stay, but if he doesn't stay, Liverpool will sign someone else. Liverpool won't fall apart if Konate leaves. He's not Virgil van Dijk. He's a good centre-back who you hope will sign, but if he doesn't want to sign, Liverpool will be absolutely fine. He's a very good centre-back, he's a title winner at Liverpool, he's played in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. He's obviously a quality centre-back. It's not poor management, if he goes for free. You can't physically make somebody sign a contract. Then it's your decision, do you keep him to the length of his contract or do you sell him?" Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.